Super Bowl Sunday approaching, and it is prop bet season in the world of sports gambling. So according to the voice of Vegas, what are the do's and don'ts as we head to Sunday?
Next stop, Vegas, please.
All right, Fezzik, let's do it. I'm going to let you start, and then when you fall short, and I don't think you necessarily will. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'll jump in. Do and don't, number one.
Do look to bet two-sided props. There's only two possible outcomes.
All right, so over, under, number of yards from Mahomes, over, under, rushing yards. But there's other things, right? So give some examples of two-sided that aren't an over, under, a stat.
So will Tom Brady throw an interception, yes or no?
Now, why is it important to be two-sided?
Because there the bookie can't hide extra vig because you're laying $1.10 in each direction. If he wants to charge you more, you see it.
Or maybe they're laying more, $1.10 in each direction, a 20-cent straddle, so it might be minus 150 plus 130. That is obvious if he goes beyond that. You got 20, 25, let's use an example, first touchdown props. Buried in there, oftentimes there's going to be 30, 40% VIG. What's the VIG on minus 110, minus 110? Less than 5%. So think about it. They're charging you 6, 7 times as much vigorish, oftentimes when you're doing the multiple possible winners, the many possible winners. Don't forget, this is an overarching rule of betting. Bookies are
cockroaches. Cockroaches, yeah.
It's true. I wish it weren't, but it's true. That's number one. Two-sided bets where you can see. And remember, you don't do one-sided bets. Will an alien land at halftime? 5,000 to 1. Well, can I bet no? No, you can't. You know you're in trouble if they only let you bet one side. If they let you bet many sides, they're probably hiding a bunch of vig. When it's two sides, they're not hiding anything. You get to decide. Pretty good so far. Number two.
If you're going to bet a popular player to overperform and you want to bet on that player over, bet it early because it's more than likely going to go higher once the public gets a hold of it.
Yeah, and the public in theory could bet today, but let's be candid. People like to bet instant gratification. They want to keep that money in their pocket. Who knows, a poker game might break out. So usually the pros bet early. You were down at the Westgate last week. What's your bet count, prop count right now?
24.
I mean, this guy's got 24 in pocket. I mean, you don't get a mansion and a yacht sitting around. So, your goal is to sit on the yacht, but still, you got to work for it. A lot of recreational bettors saying, I don't have any. Well, don't force it. But if you do like overs, and especially overs on popular players, the public seems to want to bet that. Historically, certainly, and thus it's going to go up. If you like the underweight, like the overs. Now, you're not going to be right about this all the time, but you're going to be right 60+% of the time.
Yeah, the Mahomes, the Kelseys, the Hills.
Yeah, but you're not sure even on that. But in general, if you do, your rule is you bet early if you like the overs, late if you like the unders, you're going to get the better odds at least 60% of the time.
Yes.
Number three,
look to avoid long shot bets that pay like 5 to 1, 8 to 1.
Well, I don't agree with that. I think a little bit, but I think it's the lottery ticket bets that are really tough because they're usually combined with the multiple possible winners. But also things like, will there be, like let's say some of the most common ones, will there be a safety? Though that's hit a lot. And we can debate that. That's a whole other debate. But things like missed extra point, will there be an overtime? The pros tend to do what in those games?
They tend to lay the extra vig and bet no overtime, even though they got to go ahead and lay 10 to make it $1.
Because the odds say they should be laying, let's say, 15.
Yes.
And isn't that exactly what the casino does? Think about owning a casino. You think, oh my gosh, I'd love to own a casino. How great would that be? Okay, well, what are you laying? If someone plays roulette, someone comes up drunk, they play roulette, what are they laying? They're literally saying the casino owner is, hey, you bet $1, we'll pay you 35 if you win. Well, that sounds horrible, right? Except the odds are worse than that. So thus the casinos build big chandeliers from it. You can be like the casino saying, I'm willing to bet 10 to win 1 if the odds should be 15.
Yes.
All right, the final one is mine. It's game flow handicapping. How do you expect the game to go? If you think Tampa's going to win the game, then chances are Tom Brady's not going to throw much at all. Now he's going to throw, but he won't throw near as much as you might think. Why? Because Tampa historically this year runs a lot early. First down, second down, right in the middle to get the flow of the game, right? To whatever they're doing. A lot of the analytics people hate it. Remember, Brady, in 9 Super Bowls, his total points scored, his teams, in the first quarter is 3. Not an average of 3 for 27. No, combined, it's 3. They've scored in 1 Super Bowl, and that's it. In the first quarter, they start slow. Now, is that Belichick? Is that Brady? We don't know. But if you think Tampa's going to win the game, chances are you might want to look under for Brady. Right? If you think Mahomes is going to have a monster day, well, it's going to affect your side bet, but now you want to go maybe over Mahomes, over Hill, Kelsey. Whatever your handicap is, think, does this prop bet line up with my handicap? Doesn't mean you can't bet against it, but boy, if you think you're right about your handicap, there's certain prop bets that are going to make sense, other ones won't.